Debbie Beaumont, who was our ticket taker, came in and she said, I don't want to piss you off, but you'll never believe who's walking in the back door right now. Now, this is right after, all this stuff happened in WWE and WWF then. And I said, who? And she said, Scott Hall. Instinctively, I stood up and started taking my pouch off, and Paul Heyman came over and said, you can't hit him. I said, what do you mean I can't hit him? He said, if you hit him, you'll get arrested and you'll miss the pay-per-view. This is a setup. And now I'm really pissed. He's walking into our building. I'm sure he's only going to welcome with a welcome mat. And I said, well, how about if he swings at me? He goes, well, if he swings at you, it's fair game. So there ain't a man on the planet I can't make swing at me, I thought. So Scott, was walking in, and of course you can imagine the entire building went like quiet. Turned around and I looked at him and I said, well, you got a lot of balls walking into this building. Because remember, it wasn't just me that he had screwed. He had screwed Bam Bam, he had screwed Candido, Tracy Smothers. There were a lot of guys in that building that he had been involved in screwing. And he looked over and he saw Candido sitting there, and he said, hey Chris, hey Tammy, how you guys doing? And Candido stood and said, fuck you, Scott Hall. He kept walking. And Bam Bam was spread out on the bleachers. Hey, about you, Scott? He goes, are you and I still boys? And Bam Bam stood up and pulled his tights up and started walking out of the bleachers. And as he did, Scott Hall started backpedaling. And Scott walked up to the presenter and goes, you don't have to backpedal for me. He goes, I'm not going to do anything to you. He goes, the franchise is going to kick your fucking ass. He goes, nice to see you come, or something like that, and walked away. So now my task is to make Scott take a swing at me. And something like, what can I get him? So I said, I just kept digging at him, and he wouldn't say anything. And I said to him finally, and I thought for sure he'd swing on this one. So I was ready to block. I said, I got one question. I said, with all the money you've made there and, all the fame you've had worldwide, I said, exactly what does Vince McMahon's dick taste like anyway? and again, I'm thinking he's going to swing, right? And he stopped and he put his head down, and it was clear he wasn't going to. I just made the direct challenge to him. I said, Scott, you got one choice. This whole building's watching you. I said, you fucked Candido, you fucked Bam Bam, you fucked Tracy, and there were a couple others. I said, and you fucked me. I said, and you think you're going to be welcomed into this building with open arms. I said, this ain't the WWE, and none of us is going to get fired for kicking your ass. And so I said, you got a choice. You can put your hands up and fight like a man, or you can put your tail between your legs and walk the fuck out of here like a pussy. Again, thinking he's going to throw any second. And he looked around for a second, and he put his head down and turned around and walked out. Honest to God, for that split second, I almost felt bad for him. I'm like, man, I've never seen somebody get punked out that badly and not react.